Okay, so this is about cPanel data restoration. Recently, one of our developers deployed something in here in this domain and forgot to back up the client's old website. So now we are having to go back to talk to support, request them for a cPanel backup, which they have generated right here and dropped it in the home folder. And from here, I am going to restore it to the latest date that was available to us, which is May 5, 2020. And now that the file is here, I'm downloading it to make sure what's the content. And also, since I'm going to be doing it manually, I have no idea if something might go wrong. And he does have some other domains here and another public folder. So I downloaded this public folder, and what I'm doing is I'm going into those necessary folders and finding the WP config right here, and I am isolating those names of the databases, and then I am coming here and I'm going to export these databases and keep them locally as a backup. In case something does go wrong, we can manually be able to restore them. Alright, so as we know, we downloaded this cPanel backup onto our hard drive locally. So let's see, we have it right here, and we opened it up, not really extracted it, but just to see the content using this WinRAR program. We may have to, like, there's a home directory, and when I open it up, I see the whole structure here, which matches this this home structure right here. Let's see again. Yep, it's an exact match. Only thing is these dates are different. They're all past date because this is the backup from the May 5th, and what we are dealing with here is this is May 25th. So, and also our old installation, the new installation, if you look at them, all happened in May 15th. So now, initially I thought that to manually restore, I may have to restore the whole thing, every single one of them. But turns out, if we look here, since our only domain in question is digitaldominationdojo.com, this guy, and everything else remained the same, so once I looked at it, I felt like I don't have to restore the whole thing. And when I go back, there's a MySQL folder also. Open it up and find all the necessary DBs that we're going to be needing. And pretty much what we need is this one. How to confirm this? Let's go back and go under here and find the WP config, and we're not going to edit anything, we're just going to view it. Right here we see this is the DB name. We have other DBs there, but we only need this guy because we are trying to restore only one domain. So only thing we need to restore is this folder, content of this folder, and this DB. And just in case, we need to roll back just in case. This is sort of like a habit of mine, just to be safe every step of the way. So let's just make a copy of this guy, because that's what we're going to replace. So Let's make it larger a little bit. So this is our target. We are going to compress it. Tar once again. Boom. Anything we try to replace or change or anything like that in production, because this is in production, so it's always good to have a backup of everything, because eventually that's going to be our target anyway. I mean, we just did skipped a few steps. In this case, we just went ahead and deployed by removing like the previous website. What we should have done is first make a backup of that site, old one, and store it in a good place where we can access it, and then go ahead and deploy. That way, when client asks me about, oh, what about my content? Like, he's been on his old website, he's been storing data for a while, which is basically WordPress posts. So those were gone, right? So now that we installed a new site, we were going to go back and grab those posts and put them into the new one. But since we did not keep a backup, we lost it all. So this is why we're going through all that work now to restore, and then we're going to collect the database. We're going to collect those posts, maybe generate that site somewhere else, and then we redeploy the new site again, and then pull those posts back from the DB, old DB, right? So that's the thing. So now we have this backup, and we're going to go ahead and download locally. And also with that, we also have the DB, this guy, and we will go same way to the export and go. Right here, we're going to collect that database. Now we know we have exact backups of the both. Now we're going to go ahead and the plan is to come here, extract this file. This basically is going to extract into another folder. From that folder, we know that we're going to get this stuff. Exact same, right? So then we will go down to home dir and then find the contents of this domain and place them inside this folder. Once that is done, then we will come here and so go to import and choose that file and then replace all of those. I mean, what I usually do, I drop all the old DB first and then do it. So you'll see as soon as we get to the next step. Okay, so a few minutes ago I mentioned that my plan was to come here and extract this file, which is the cPanel backup, and then take the necessary files, this guy, the DDD digital domination dojo.tar, this file from here I'll just collect, right, and then put it back on, right? But this is what I noticed. I mean, these are a few things you have to notice. You have to be very keen when working with client production. Is this notice right here. So we are reaching very close to the file usage limit. When that happens, the hosting will very quietly start throttling you. What that means is they're going to slow you down incredibly. It happened to me several times. If you don't notice that, then all of a sudden you find yourself, your system or website is incredibly slow and you don't know why. This is why, because as soon as you reach that or cross that mark, hosting slows you down. So in this case we have to be very careful, because as soon as I extract this, as you can see here, all these files are going to be counted against this setup file usage. So not to cross that threshold, what we decided to do is locally, since we know exactly what we need to extract, we just focus on this and don't even extract everything, just extract that specific folder. And we are going to choose download folder. Okay, now before we do that, let's we already have the new backups right here, so let's be organized a little bit. Let's say new site, and then drag and drop these two guys. So at this point we go back again and say okay. So basically we've decided to grab this folder, have them extracted locally like this, compress it into a one zip file, and then upload back here. That way we are not going to be crossing this threshold, because currently this is just one file, but as soon as you extract it, it's going to double in size. So this is a much better way to do so. Also, as far as the DB goes, okay, we have to wait until this finishes. And here I created another folder, DDD-DB, which is basically the site name, Digital Domination Dojo. So this is where I'm going to be extracting that SQL file so that I can import that back into here. Alright, so that finished. So we have a good copy right here. Now we can go back, find the MySQL folder, open it up, and this is our DB. So let's extract that, and this time we know we have a folder. Okay, and this is not a very big file, so it's going to be done here so fast. And then let's go make this compressed. Now RAR we might have a problem with when we upload to Cpanel, right? So let's go with a zip format so that Cpanel can recognize it. This is our old set of files. We're doing this so that we can upload that by renaming the old folder or just flat out removing it. Okay, so before we move forward, I just wanted to load this site up. This is the current site. That's what we're trying to replace at the moment. So this is where we're going to come after we make the changes in the upload the DB and change the necessary files here. So let's go and see what's happening here. Okay, now we have this zip file of the old site. We have the DB folder right here and the SQL right here to upload. So we have everything in place, ready to go. So let's go back. Now here's the thing, this file is the new one and we're about to upload the zip file. So let's go upload and let's bring in this guy. Actually, let's make sure we are in the right folder because I don't think we are. Okay, yeah. So let's go upload again and bring this guy in. While this is going on, we actually can have this guy loaded up. So this is our DB. Let's make sure once again, because I'm sorry I'm repeating the same thing probably too many times because I'm actually working on client's production environment. So this is something I do. I have to recheck, make sure, and I strongly suggest you do the same, because once the mistake has been made, then it might just triple, not even quadruple your workload, and you'll face probably all sorts of embarrassment in front of the client, making you look like incompetent and whatnot. So this is something we just make sure multiple times, dgvhlf_dom, and that's what we have. So as this is being loaded, we just once again load this guy up. All right, come down, check all tables, and then see, we can confidently do that now because we have a backup, right? So always backup. That should be the mantra working on client production environment. So now we can drop it. Yes. Now this guy is completely empty. Let's go to, actually let's just have it right here while this is going on so we can see. Import. Now let's go choose the file right here, open it up and hit go. So now that we are here, and let's do a reload just to refresh and make sure that now this is the old file and that's the new one. Just to make sure, let's go back and go to the download, and look, the zip was the extension of that target file. So before we unzip it, what we do, we find this folder, and once again we can confidently do that because we do have a backup right here. New site, tar file, right? So we can remove it completely, and while we're removing it, I normally go and rename it, but remember we have this issue, so we don't want to double up on things, and then which will push us to the edge, right? So DDD, okay, and highlight and delete. Now that is gone, and look, we have successfully updated our SQL. So we have our old database restored here. Now highlight the zip file, and we can go here, click extract, or we can go right click, extract, and current directory, that's fine. And just to take a look, this used to be our current site. Okay, looks like we are done here, and our folder is restored, and the DB is here. So let's go do a refresh. Okay, so we are getting this. What is this? So this is kind of normal in a sense that whenever you're working with production, it will throw you curveballs, all sorts of issues. So we have two choices here. We can go try to troubleshoot all sorts of 503 server errors, or maybe we can try another quick way before we try to go the longer route. Now we know about the WordPress installations is that mainly, once you have the database in place, only thing you have to replace is this guy, just WP content, right? So what we ended up doing, replacing the whole folder. So something might have gone wrong, which we can troubleshoot, but we're not going to at this point because I have one trick up my sleeve, which I will try first. So first thing, what I'm going to do, I will go ahead and rename it. All right, -old, and now I will go here and bring this guy back on, because we know this was good working version of the current site, right? So, and we have the DB in place. Let's now that we renamed this file, let's try to get this guy back on. Right click, extract. Locally, that's fine. Current folder, and this is a bit larger file. All right, when we tried to restore it, it did create this folder, but as you can see, it did not expand all the way because it kind of reached the file usage limit threshold again. So that's the thing we are facing right now. So even watch what happens, like if I even try to delete this one just to make some space, even then it fails because it's limited by the disk quota, right? All right, so what we can do, so let's do this. Let's make a compressed file out of this guy. Let's do a tar, and once we do, then we will have a backup. A lot of files will be turned into one file, and then if we remove that, we might get some number of file size back. I mean, like usage back. File usage is at 98% right now. That's another reason I'm not getting rid of those tar or zip files, because those are just considered one. What will actually help us in this scenario, if we can get rid of something like that, a big installation. While this is doing that, we can also do something here locally. Now that we have this zip file already here, right? So what we can do, this came from this, so that means instead of doing all that, we can just take this WP content and zip it up. So that way it may not add to the extra file size. So in that case, we may be able to go back here. Oh, look, it actually did that. So let's do a reload, and we should be able to find the build dojo here .tar, right? And in here, we already got content.zip, right? So in that case, we can not only delete this guy, but also this guy, just to get our file usage limit back up. So let's delete, and this time we're gonna skip the trash, because sending it to the trash will also add to the file usage. So all right, those files are gone. Reload, those are gone, and let's check the trash just to make sure. Yes. Okay, so now here's something. I mean, this guy's still sitting there, right? So by removing those two, if we end up getting some good file usage here, which we're down to 52%. So now that gives us another idea. We can just get this one restored. We don't, even though we're ready here with the content folder, we're gonna bring that in, of course, but this is the new installation, the one that was already there. So it should let us replace this. Oh, why? It's still not letting us do that. Why would it do that? So in that case, let's just get rid of it anyway. So it's just, maybe we'll get some file usage because of this. There you go. So this is empty. So now let's see if we gain some more space here. So we're down to 50% now. Okay. So, and this kind of proves what I was just saying. Like the tar and zip files are considered just single files. So even though we have all those that we got rid of, they're still sitting there, but we got all that file usage back because they are now considered as single files. So we can just go and try to extract this one. This is what we are gonna put back, just to see if we can avoid that 500 error we were having. So let's extract current folder. Boom. All right, hopefully we will, and we are. Right here we got that folder back, and let's see what it does this time. Let's see if it's a cache issue or not. Okay, we're still getting forbidden. (64475). So we are getting a permission issue. Let's see why. Because this is now 750. Let's change it to 755. All right, so we are at least accessing that file system, and since it is not connected to the database, so it's throwing us back to installation, but this is definitely a good indication. So let's go and see what does the database config say. View it. All right, so we have the database name exactly same, but I know exactly what's happening here, why it's throwing you back to the installation, because of this prefix, the database table prefix. This is not gonna match, because see, this is WP, right? So let me just go ahead and try to edit this. All right, let's go try to edit this. And actually, before we even try to edit this, let's replace this content folder here, because this is from the new install, but we're trying to go back to the old install, keeping the WordPress files the same, because when we actually tried to replace it last time, it was giving us all sorts of 500 errors, right? So now let's rename this as new, because it is the new install, right? We just checked the database is, we're connecting to is correct, passwords, everything is fine, but only thing missing is this database prefix. So now, okay, so it doesn't have any content folder at the moment, and what we do is we go upload, select, and we go to the download folder, this folder here, because that's where we, as you saw here, we created this content.zip file. So it is right here. We open it up. It's a 300 megabyte file. It's going to take a while. All right, we just finished uploading the content.zip. Now let's go back to that folder. All right, do a reload. And right here, the content.zip. And we already renamed the previous content, so we can easily highlight this and extract. Once this is extracted, then we will take care of this DB table prefixes, because once again, if we go back, okay, this is blocked. All right, so this is done. So if we go back here, config, and try to view it, actually let's go to the edit mode straight. See, this is extension WP, but this DB, all the table has prefixes MDEUI. So that's because of this mismatch. When we try to go to that site, it sends us straight to WordPress reinstallation, right? So because it's finding the database, but it's not matching the tables, right? So mdeui underscore, mdeui underscore, that's it, and then save it. All right, now let's try to go back and cross our fingers here. Ba-bing, there we go. We just got our site back. It has been pretty exciting, but we did get it back, and everything is now looking fine and dandy. Thank you for being with me throughout the journey.